Y'all know that guy that peaked in high school? Y'all know him. They hung around after they graduated, a little too often after they graduated from high school, got a little older and still kept going to all the games, still have their Letterman's jacket when they're 40 and still going to games and hanging out with kids trying to get on the sideline, even though they may not have any kids at the school or even on staff or anything. There's no affiliation with the school whatsoever other than that they are an alumni. Yeah, we all know that guy. And I'm not talking about the small communities that people have community pride and support their teams or their events in their town or even having school pride and just enjoying that atmosphere. I'm talking about people that are really peaked in high school and think that was the greatest at all time. We have too many people in our society today that have peaked, are these peaked in high school. They think, I mean, just look at our society where people want to go back to days gone by and think that's the greatest thing that's ever happened to America. You know, the days of, enslavement or segregation or, fighting for civil rights or women fighting for the right to vote or even fighting for the right to have their own checking account in their name or a credit card. Back to them glory days that we want to go to. See, it just shows me that these people don't want to develop. They think going back is the solution to everything else because it was an innocent and joyful time. And yeah, I look back at my high school years and I think that was fond memories that I have, good times, but I don't want to go back to it. There's too many memories of mistakes made, of exploration done, finding myself and discovering who I was, fighting acne all the time, just dealing with things that are laughable now that were very regrettable in the time that I did it, and just thinking about that and going, I don't want to suffer through a lot of that again. I'll hold on to the fond, cherished memories that I do have of that time of things that were good and glorious. Things like growing and understanding myself, developing, learning, exploring the world around me, and my curiosity just being explored to the extent to figure out what was out there and what just having that potential completely in front of me. And I can still apply them concepts in my life today, which helps me keep growing in myself and in my world and understanding what's going on. But the people that peaked in high school shut that down. They stopped there because they think that was the greatest. Everything was innocent and easy back then. When if you truly look at it, it probably wasn't. There was a lot of turmoil and stress in your life at that time, because I have 16 and 17-year-olds in my house now. And it's a catastrophe some days with what's going on and how miserable it is in their lives. I remember that then from their experience that, yeah, that's true. There was some tough times. I don't want to go back to that. I want to keep growing. And I think that's the biggest difference between having a more open, progressive mindset than a conservative, go back to the past mindset. Because when you have an open mindset, you continue to grow. You continue to learn. You continue to expand. The world, if we would have stayed in that conservative mindset and kept it back at, this is the best time ever, let's do that. You have the Amish people that do it now. This was the time that we need to stay in. And they don't have electricity. They don't have motorized vehicles. They don't have all the modern conveniences. And some people think that's great, but that's a difficult way of living. If we kept going farther back, we'd still be using rocks to cut our meat and sand and everything else. We'd be out in the backyard hunting everything and scavenging for berries because we never grew and developed on our own past and grew that information into something greater and brighter. You see, when you take them experiences of high school that are fond and good and help you and use them to continue growing in later in life, you progress humanity. You increase it. You make it better. You make it just more, but you build on the past. But when you stop and want to go back, you stop any progress in this country and you keep us from developing humanity and what it could possibly be and what it can possibly go to. And I think if we can get people to realize this, that if you peak in high school, if you peak in life and think everything was better back then, you're not honestly looking back at it. And two, you're not growing and you're not getting anything better. You're being stagnant. And stagnant water is nasty water that no one should ever drink. Always go to the river that's flowing and moving forward in the world. So keep pushing that idea, keep thinking of that, because that's truly the way we're going to grow as a humanity and a species in general, is if we keep pressing and growing and learning, not reflecting back on the days gone past and wishing we were there again.